Coming up tonight on CTV News, a robbery turns into a police chase that ends in a fiery crash in the district. We'll have more on what happened and who police say is responsible. Plus, the gay marriage debate continues to move forward in Annapolis.
A robbery suspect leads police on a chase that has a fiery ending. I'm Rochelle Metzger in the district. I'll have that story coming up.
I'm Denise Douglas in Annapolis, where the controversial same-sex marriage bill is being debated before a joint committee. I'll have all of the details ahead.
Good evening. This is CTV News for Friday, February 10th. I'm Natalie Wilson. Thank you for joining us. An early morning robbery in Prince George's leads to a police chase into the district. Now authorities believe the suspect may be linked to other crimes in the metro area. Rochelle Metzger reports.
Sounds of a police pursuit around 10:30 this morning startled residents in the 6300 block of Southern Avenue.
Actually, it woke me up.
Authorities say an unidentified suspect robbed a Shell gas station in Prince George's. Police spotted the stolen vehicle on MLK Highway, tailing him into the district. At one point, the suspect rammed a county cruiser.
There was an officer that was injured during the course of the chase. He's been transported to a local hospital where he's expected to pull through.
Eyewitnesses tell us that the suspect vehicle came around this bend at a high rate of speed, crashing into this tree and bursting into flames. You can still see the burn marks and the fire extinguisher left over from the scene this morning. The suspect did make it out uninjured and was promptly arrested. Neighbors tell us they've seen this kind of thing happen before with drivers unfamiliar with the roadway.
I have seen several police chases because it's a one-way block and they really don't know about the curve and they go so fast. He was doing like 80 or 90 up our one-way block.
The investigation may take some time because we're looking into the suspect may be involved in robberies in other jurisdictions as well as ours.
The suspect is currently in the custody of D.C. police awaiting extradition back to the county. Charges are pending. Well, it failed in the House last session, but supporters are pulling out all the stops to push it through this time around. They packed a joint hearing on same-sex marriage in Annapolis as the governor and others testified. Denise Douglas has the full story from Annapolis.
Governor Martin O'Malley urged this joint committee to pass the same-sex bill.
Moms and dads all across our state want the same things for our kids. We want them to live in a loving, caring, committed, and stable home protected equally under the law.
As expected, the controversial hearing has drawn quite a crowd, with other supporters like Sultan Shakur.
Well, what it means to me personally as somebody who really wants everybody to be treated equally is that it's an opportunity for the state of Maryland to really look at all loving couples and say that we should treat them all equally under the law.
Ellen Stanisiewski has been married for 34 years. She's against the bill, saying it would redefine the union between a man and a woman.
By undefining it and redefining it in any way you want, marriage loses its meaningfulness and it loses its importance, it loses its value.
But the governor argues it's more about protection for all.
And the only way forward in a pluralistic society of diverse faiths such as ours is to have laws that protect and respect the freedom of all equally.
And this hearing probably won't end anytime soon. It is expected to be one of the longest for this legislative session, going well into the evening. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
The Senate passed the same-sex marriage bill last year, and both sides acknowledged that it has enough support to pass in 2012. If the information is public, it should be online. That's the message from a special ethics committee in Annapolis. The group will propose legislation that will put financial disclosure forms of legislators on the web next year. Senator Jamie Raskin, chairman of the committee, tells the Baltimore Sun the legislation has the bipartisan backing of all members of the panel. The bill will also eliminate a requirement that filers be told the names of people who examine the documents. Soon it will be time for spring break, and for many, that means a trip to the tanning salon. A Maryland lawmaker wants to make it illegal for minors to use indoor tanning beds. Senator Jamie Raskin says this will eliminate a provision in Maryland law that allows minors to tan with parental permission. One lawmaker wants protections put in place for Prince George's renters using vouchers such as Section 8 federal housing subsidies. Delegate Doyle Neiman says similar protections are already in place in Montgomery and Howard counties.
The issue is called source of income. It would prohibit landlords from discriminating against tenants that have a voucher from the state. It can be veterans or domestic violence or a housing voucher for low-income folks. That a landlord would still be able to evaluate them on other criteria, but they simply couldn't say, we won't take you because you have a voucher.
Housing Choice Vouchers are part of a federal government program that assists very low-income families, the elderly, and the disabled to afford decent, safe, and sanitary housing in the private market. Well, millions of people are expected to participate in the Valentine's Day tradition by taking time out to tell that special someone you appreciate them. But one local activist wants people to show that same kindness to a stranger by feeding the region's homeless.
This is something that we normally do on a regular basis. We feed other different shelters in various areas. However, this time we wanted to feed a mass. So therefore, we decided to come together as 9 clubs are coming together. Okay, and we all are putting our resources together so that we can feed that amount of people. This time, though, we wanted to do something extra for Valentine's weekend, the weekend of love. So therefore, we're putting special treats and gifts in the actual lunches that we're preparing.
The event will take place tomorrow from 3 to 7 p.m. at 3 shelters in the district. For more information, you can call 301-237-6284. It was 2 years ago when streets and cars had all but disappeared under the snow, and thousands were left without heat and electricity for nearly a week. Called Snowmageddon, 3 massive snowstorms between December 2009 and February 2010 dumped nearly 55 inches on the D.C. area. Scientists at NASA Goddard Space Flight Center are still searching for clues that would help predict storms of this magnitude. Researchers say a combination of warmer sea temperatures and a fluctuation of atmospheric pressure may be the culprit. To better improve snow predictions, scientists say they need to study how those fluctuations occur. Well, it's Friday, and it's time for our weekly arts and entertainment segment with Galen Glenn. Hi, Galen.
Hello there.
So where are we going today?
We're going to another art exhibit, a really nice one. Rivers and Memories, the exhibition currently on display at Brentwood Arts Exchange, features works of 2 prominent local artists, E.J. Montgomery and Lillian Burwell. The director of the Exchange Gallery in the Gateway Arts Center is Alex Simpson, who told us about the artists and the current exhibit. Rivers and Memories. Ooh, I like that.
Right. That was a title that combined the 2 artists. One talked to us about rivers, one talked about memories. I said, oh, okay, that's the name of the show, Rivers and Memories. So it came from the artist directly.
And the artworks, the 2 sides of the gallery are very different.
They're very different ladies. This show, I guess you know that this is in honor of Black History Month and Women's History Month. So one lady is 85 years old, and the other lady is of an undisclosed age, but I'm sure she's over 70. And so the inspiring thing for me about this show is that both of these artists have been arts administrators, and I'm an arts administrator, and try to do my art, but they have continued to do their art. And so what's inspiring for me is that you find your passion and you do it even into your late years, and you inspire yourself, your own life, and you inspire the lives of others. So this is an exciting show, I think.
The Brentwood Arts Exchange is on Rhode Island Avenue in Brentwood and is open Monday through Friday from 10 to 7 and Saturday from 10 to 4.
Absolutely beautiful works.
It is lovely, and the Brentwood Exchange is part of the Gateway Arts Center. There's also the African American Museum there too, and next week we'll talk about that one.
All right, wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Galen.
You're welcome.
Police Officer Jonathan Island.
Several Several Prince George's police officers are honored by the fire department for heroism in a recent apartment fire. On Monday, 4 officers ran to the Spelman House Apartments in College Park after noticing smoke coming from a 6th-floor window. The building is occupied with senior citizens and mobilely challenged residents.
You know, they wear guns, they have a vest on, they got a uniform, but at a time like this, they really don't know how strong they are until strength was the only thing they had to depend on. Whether it was the mental strength, whether it was the physical strength to break the doors open, whatever it was, they had to reach inside, pull that out, and take care of those folks in that building.
What they did without hesitation was nothing short of courageous. The bravery that it took to go in that building, I just admire them and thank them for what they did, and they exemplify the great aspects of this police department.
PFC Eiler, Officer Gonzalez, and Officer Ling. Officer Ling, who couldn't be here, they're the ones that are the true heroes, and the fire department for everything they did that day. The fire department on scene was very organized and assisted us and told us where to go and directed us where to go, and we appreciate their help and thank you for this award.
Fire officials are investigating why the building's audible alarm was not working during the incident. We're back with the Friday Sports Page report, and we're talking Terps and DC United. Hey, Chris.
Yes, we are. You know, believe it or not, soccer season's right around the corner. MLS gets started here a little bit later in March, and basketball season's swinging toward March Madness, and the Terps on that bubble right now and have to get a couple of wins. So they got their first road win the other day, and now maybe they can make it happen again this weekend. Right. So we'll jump right into it. The Terps defeated Clemson 64-62 to earn their first road victory of the season earlier this week. The team is now preparing for the rematch at Duke tomorrow. The Blue Devils won the last game largely because of the inside play of Mason Plumlee. Coach Mark Turgeon talked about the game plan going into tomorrow's matchup.
We'll tweak a few things that we think will help us be better defensively, but I'd rather Plumlee score 22 than give up 15 threes. You know, any day, but it just still wasn't enough. I thought if we guarded that way, we'd win, but we weren't good enough offensively to win. So, but they made free throws that night too, and that was a huge part of it, of the game. But we'll do a couple of different things. We'll have things that we'll try. Hopefully it'll work.
I think we gotta be more physical. I think we underestimated a little bit how physical they are. So we just gotta be more physical, and like James said, like push them out the block, because their jump shot is way less effective than their close to the basket opportunities.
Last time out, Duke kind of had their way inside. You see what North Carolina did to them the other night. They took that away, and Duke hit 14 three-pointers. What is kind of the game plan heading into this game?
Keep them off the three-point line, but don't let them beat us in the paint. So we got to allow them to make jump shots, but not let them beat us at the three-point line. And then we got to contain our men in the post. They get a couple of points, but we don't want that to be the determining factor of the game.
The game tips at 4 o'clock tomorrow from Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. To soccer, DC United has completed about 1 month of training camp as they prepare for the 2012 season, which begins in March. The team roster looks a lot different entering the regular season, with several new players arriving to the black and red. I had a chance to ask them how practice is going so far.
Good preseason with the guys, with new guys coming in, new faces, and you know, I think we have a good group right now. We have for every position we have a good competition, which is healthy for our team. It creates a great environment, and I'm looking forward to this year. I think it's going to be a good year for us, and you know, so far everything is coming together quite nicely, and you know, we're looking to kick off the season on the right foot.
The next 2 trips, what we have to do, I think we're gonna fix it everything and prepare to be a very good team this season. I think we have a quality and we have a very, very big chance to be in the playoff this year.
First one's always the toughest, you know, getting your fitness level back. You got a lot of new faces in there, but I thought it went pretty well. Played a good team down there in Malmo. thought we did decent, and you know, we're starting to figure out our kinks and whatnot, and you know, pushing on to the next phase of preseason. I think that's where we start you know, really identifying ourselves as a team.
And the side is currently training in Scottsdale, Arizona. College basketball, Bowie State sweeps a doubleheader from Elizabeth City State last night. The women win 54-52 in overtime. The men win 70-62. College soccer, the Terps have a new women's head coach. It's Jonathan Morgan. He takes over for Brian Penske, who left to go to Tennessee. College lacrosse, the Lady Terps open up their season Sunday. They take on William and Mary at the Field Hockey and Lacrosse Complex. NHL Capitals fall to Winnipeg last night, 3-2 in shootout. And in the NBA, the Wizards host the Miami Heat tonight at 7 from the Comcast Center.
All right. Well, it's nice that we have something to look forward to with March Madness and soccer because I have to say Sunday evenings, I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah,
guys.
football season's over,
Yeah.
so now we got to look forward to, you know, like you said, soccer's getting ready to start, and you got March Madness coming up, and, you know, hopefully maybe the Wizards can turn it around.
Yeah, maybe.
How many of those fans at the game tonight are going to be Miami Heat fans?
All right. Well, we'll see.
I have a couple concerts I could offer.
Well, thank you, Galen. I'll keep that in mind. Well, that's our news for this evening. We will see you on Monday. Have a good night.